I could
comfortable.
be in a committed relationship today if I wanted to,
Right.
but I don't.
But it's
That's
not the
not
girl.
something I'm actively
So
pursuing.
so so the thing is, it's not the girl of your dreams though, right? So if you met the
Okay.
girl of your, so that mindset that you have, right? Like, it happens if it happens, but I'm not looking. If you met the perfect girl for you, right? The girl that you couldn't even imagine her being with another man, it would literally just break your entire soul, right? That girl gonna change that mindset. You're not gonna look at her and fix your lips to tell her you're not in a space to be in a committed relationship. Is that wrong or right?
I think that's mostly right.
So that's mostly right. So how can you then say like a person shouldn't, if that girl came to you and said, well, she's your perfect girl, well, babe, like I want to be, engaged within the next year, 2 years. Like I'm dating for seriousness. If that's nothing you're if that's not what you're looking for, then okay, cool. We could, we don't have to do this. What are you gonna do?
Listen, Kelly, I'm gonna be honest with you.
You would let her walk out of your life, or you would get into motion. You would get into place. So I think people say things like that is because they haven't found that person yet. So you can say, oh, 7 years is not that long, or oh, da 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 da. Like, no, if the person came around for you, you're going to act right, period, on both sides.
Kelly, listen,
Noble, noble,
listen.
noble, noble.
My man Mello said it best in the comments. If she's rushing you, Noble, that's no longer the woman of your dreams.
It's not about
Listen,
rushing
Kelly.
you though. It's her
No, Kelly, it
timeline.
is. Kelly,
Everybody has
listen.
their timeline though. Everybody has their timeline. Like,
Okay, listen. Let's talk. Let me tell
you
you
can't
something
meet a
as a
woman at
woman.
32 years old and tell her, "Oh, you're not ready to get married." That's
Let me
what?
tell you something.
That's
Let me tell
crazy.
you something as a woman. I don't think women our age or women in general should be putting timelines and like shot clocks on people because listen to me. Wouldn't you want a man to like propose to you because he genuinely wanted to propose to you because
Yeah,
he genuinely
absolutely.
wanted to make you his wife one day?
Hmm.
Not because bro, why would you want to be in a relationship with a man to where every 3 months he looking down at his wrist and he looking at the clock like, oh, she told me that I got this much time. So now when that time comes, he's really making that decision because you allotted him that amount of time to make that decision. Not because that's what he genuinely wanted to do. Let him genuinely
But
want to do
but
that.
but, but guess what?
Now
But
listen,
guess
listen real
what? But
quick.
hold on, no, no,
I'm,
no.
I'm
But
gonna
guess
land
what?
on this. I'm gonna land on this. Listen,
Mm.
as a woman, if you know that within 24 months you want the relationship to be progressing towards a certain stage, if it at 22 months 23 months when that 24-month mark is coming up and he hasn't expressed certain sentiments to you, I
Right.
think now as a woman you should take the initiative to tell him, hey, um I don't know what you got going on, but you know we've been doing this for X amount of time now, and I just want to know where your head is at because I eventually do want to be in da 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 da. Now, at that point in time, after 22, 23 months, you don't really have to waste no time with him anymore because like you said, based off of that 22, 23 months, he should have an idea of who you are now and if he wants to
Absolutely.
continue this any further.
So So the difference between that is instead of just stating the exact time, it's more just like alluding to, well, this would be the time when I should know whether or not this is going to progress. Is that pretty much what you're saying the difference is? Instead of her saying, okay, well, you got 2 years to marry me, as opposed to, I'm dating to marry. My goals is that by the time I'm, 31, 32, the relationship that I'm in is going to progress to something more serious. And then once that time comes and you don't see anything progressing, then it's respectable to bring it up again. Because I think either way it's pressure, right? I think either way it's pressure. I necessarily wouldn't go ahead and just put the flat out number, but in the beginning, when I'm dating somebody, I'm gonna let them know what my intentions are,
Right,
what my goals are. I don't need to bring it up anytime after that.
right. But
Because I
look,
know a man who really sees me, he's gonna jump. He's probably gonna even want to get that done quicker than I do.
exactly. So you don't need to put a time on it. So at the end of the day, as a woman, just let him know what your intentions are. But don't put no damn
So you mean like
shot
don't be like,
clock
oh,
on
it's
me.
3 months. You got 2 more months left. Like that's what you're saying. Like don't put a literally a clock on his neck, like where he's
I'm
battling
saying
against
this.
the
I'm
clock.
saying this. Look. So look, you and I are talking, right? And I expressed to you that I want to be in a relationship with you. You say, okay, if you want to be in a relationship with me, I just want you to know that despite us being young, despite us being the age and at the
Hmm.
stage in life that we're at, that I'm not just, dating for a fling. I'm not just gonna be in a relationship just for the sake of being in one. I am dating with intention, and I do want to be engaged, and I do want to eventually get married. Just leave it there. Now, like I said,
Wait, was there any time factors in that?
listen
Because
to me. Listen to me.
eventually is not a good word.
No,
I
no,
just want to
listen.
say that.
Okay. Maybe not eventually. Don't say it
Eventually
eventually.
could really mean
Okay.
10 years.
Just
Like that's
say,
not a good
just
word.
say, just say that, you say very, respectfully, very, very bold and very stern. I do have intentions on, getting engaged and being married. Cause listen, someone like me, I'm not speaking for all men, Kelly. Like some men, you can tell them, you can be honest and upfront with them on what your intentions are, and they're still gonna try to dog you out. They still gonna lie to you
Absolutely.
and waste your
I agree.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I'm not someone that's going to do that. Like I said, I've been very vocal. I'm not getting married or having kids before 30. So any woman that's in our age demographic that wants to do that, if she doesn't know that that's the type of time that I'm on,
What about engaged? Because you could be, no, I'm just saying, you could be engaged for a year. You can get married after 30. You can be engaged for,
okay, listen,
like,
let's talk with the whole
there's
engagement
different
thing.
timelines. But I also don't think if I wouldn't, you
Listen,
know,
these girls nowadays, they not wanting, they're not like, some people be engaged for years and don't even end up getting married. I know a girl that was engaged for 4 years and didn't even end up getting married.
right.
Nowadays, these girls are talking about like as soon as we get engaged, they're starting to plan for the wedding. They're not going to be engaged for a year or 2 years or 3 years. Like, no,
Yeah, that's
like
a
when
little,
they're getting engaged, they're like trying to get married like soon thereafter. So I don't really know if that's the thing. But all I'm saying is, for me personally, if a girl tells me that, hey, I'm dating with intention. I do want to be engaged. I do want to be married, especially
mhm.
if she's within our age demographic. Me personally, I'm just going to assume that she's talking about within the next 2 to 3 years.
That's
And
fair. I
right,
think that's very fair.
so guess
Now,
what I'm going to do?
a woman who's like 45, I'm not 45, but I can assume that they probably would have a different mindset on that, right? Like, because there's probably less time to waste. But a woman who's 37, like, and they don't have kids yet and they want kids, they might have a different clock on them. But I think at our age, 26 to 32, that's a good time frame to date somebody, get to know them and their family, because it's not just about them, right? You need to know their whole entire life before you make a purchase like a ring and the woman agree to literally become somebody's wife. Like those are not just little things that you should, oh, we like each other, let's get married. Like, no. I know people do that. They get married within the first month and things like that, crazy stuff. But I think that's fair. Do you think 7 years to string a person along though is fair? And not marry them and then just pick up and leave when you probably, maybe he didn't say I'm gonna marry you, but he probably alluded to it. He probably said, oh, just wait, right now is not the right time, but it's gonna happen, or just stick it out with me and we'll figure it out.
You know
That's
what I
crazy.
you know what I think is fair? I think whatever a man or woman tolerates and subjects themselves to, that's what I think is fair. So if you and I got into a relationship, and at our age you knew that you wanted to be married by 29, and you knew that you wanted to be done having kids by 32, but you let us get all the way to 32 without me getting married to you, without me putting a baby inside of you. If you subjected yourself to that and accepted that and tolerated that,
That's your
that's
fault.
fair. If I noble know that I wanted to be married by a certain age, and I wanted to have X amount of kids by a certain age, and I let us get to whatever age without you doing that for me, That's fair because I tolerated that and I subjected myself to that. And as an adult, I need to take accountability and accept that I put myself through that. So that's what I think is fair.